you are close to us and we made you vice gerent. Was it a mistake? How do we understand what the Quran is speaking about him asking for forgiveness?
It was a mistake in the sense of, they say tark awla, means something that was better not to be done, but it was not a fiqhi sin, because he made the right decision, they didn't object. Plus, even Allama says that it was mukashafa, it was not in the real life scenario, you know. So he didn't make a fiqhi sin, but he was supposed to be more patient and let the other person, even if you know the story, let the other person explain himself and then make the decision.
Two follow-up questions. And so one is just the learning for even us in our own lives. Sometimes we are rushing, and so to be patient, and it's better akhlaq. So that's probably one message that I take away. And I don't know the answer to this question. How many prophets were thought to do tarke awla? So for example, Prophet Adam, Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, of course now you're sharing about Prophet Dawood. Do we know how many such prophets, how many tarke awla events that we know of that have been documented?
Not all the cases, but it could be something that most of the prophets had it. We don't know, but it's possible because it doesn't conflict with their esma, with their piety. It's something that it can happen, but for someone like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, maybe no. But many other prophets may have done this. So many cases that we have about prophets, one of the common ways of interpreting them is tark awla. One of the common, but there are specific also explanations for some cases like Prophet Adam, etc. But the tark awla is a common way of interpreting the sodo, or what appears to be a sin in the lives of the prophets, which was not sin, it was tark awla.
One last question. Would it be fair to say that for the Ulul Azm prophets, they likely did not do any tarke awla? Even the punching of Prophet Musa, when Prophet Musa punched the man and he died, that would not be viewed as tarke awla, but others maybe, or?
No, I think even some of Ulul Azm could have tarke awla, like Prophet Musa.
Sheikh Nasruddin, thank you so much for helping me understand infallibility and tarke awla. May Allah bless you.
May Allah bless you. Ahsant.
Ahsan from Brother Farooq. Sheikh, just a follow-up. Is there any documented instances that we had or not?
Any what? Sorry?
Are there any documented instances where Prophet Muhammad was subject to this situation where there's tarke awla, for example?
For the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, maybe we don't have tarke awla. At least this is my understanding, that he didn't have tarke awla, because Allah says even his words, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. The Prophet never said anything of his own opinion, whether it were Quranic verses or his own words were inspiration. Or for example, there is a hadith I have mentioned in the book Shi Islam, Origins, Faith and Practices, that someone says, I used to write hadith, and then people told me, Rasulullah sometimes becomes happy, sometimes it's sad, you should not write everything he says. Meaning that he can get emotional, sometimes be excited, etc. You shouldn't write everything. So he mentioned this to the Prophet. And hadith says this in Sunni sources I have mentioned in the book Shi Islam. The Prophet pointed to his mouth and he said, do write, uktub, and then he pointed to his mouth and said, by Allah, nothing other than the truth comes out of this. So I don't think the Prophet had a tark awla. But other prophets maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just the last follow-up, since you've explained that concept, how is this different? How is our understanding of Isma, as you've explained it, how is it different than the Sunni interpretation of Isma?
Sunnis have different interpretations. Some of them say that the prophets may commit unintentional sins in their personal life or minor sins. The only isma that all of the Sunnis agree is isma in tabligh, means in delivering the message. They all say prophets were ma'soom in delivering the message, but in their personal life they may have unintentional sins, or they may have had mistakes, minor sins, depending on different groups. But we say that the prophets didn't have any sin, major or minor, in tabligh, in personal life, before becoming prophet, after becoming prophet. Because some of them also say before becoming prophet they could have committed sins. We say no. Even before becoming prophet they didn't have any sin.
Ahsantum, Sheikh. Now there's a question from Brother Muntazar in the chat. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. It was mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave wisdom to Prophet Dawood alayhi salam to judge. Could it be that he knew the truth internally through other means as well, and so he judged based on this without using the proper method of judging? For example, the rules of the court. And then Brother Muntazar follows, maybe a similar example in the better way is the story when someone stole the shield of Imam Ali alayhi salam.
Yeah, maybe he was sure and the judgment was okay, but still it's a manner of the judgment that you give chance to both parties to explain, to defend themselves. Like Prophet Sulaiman, when Hudhud was not there, he said, لَأَذْبَحَنَّهُ أَوْ يَأْتِيَنِّي بِسُلْطَانٍ مُبِينٍ. Either he can give good reason, otherwise I'm going to punish him why he's not present. So it means that I wait for him to come and give him chance to explain. I don't say because you didn't listen and obey my commands, you have to be punished. I will let him defend himself, and maybe he has good reason. So we should always stop judging, even if in family life, with friends, etc. Even if you think, and even if sometimes you are sure, because unfortunately many times we become sure about people. I know that this must be what he meant. This is what he did. No, this is not right. Even for the prophets, even if they are sure, they have to observe the manner of judging. Let the person explain himself. in many cases, as we said in the story of Musa and Khizr, prophets are supposed to act in the way that they can be followed by us. They can be our examples. If they want to follow their own knowledge and certainty, which are not through the methods, then they will not be good examples for us, because we don't have that knowledge.
Ahsantum, Sheikhna.
May Allah bless you.
Yeah. Any other questions from the group? Okay, Sheikhna, do you have time for greetings?
Yes, of course. Let me see. I have another. What time is in your?
It's 1:52 p.m. here in the Northeast.
Okay. I think we have a few minutes. Yes.
Okay, so let's do it
yes,
quickly, and I will go in